solid light as hard as mountain rock. The golden enchanter, the shield of the dawn, striking the darkness until it is gone. With hands of pure sunlight and fury untold, weaving the power of silver and gold. A war of speed and force. The vampire shifts like shadow, erratic in his course. Claws slashing through the ether, a blur of wicked speed. But the saint stands like a fortress against the vampire's greed. Blade meets brilliant barrier, sparks of lightning fly. An epic clash of titans under a dying sky. The golden enchanter, the shield of the dawn, striking the darkness until it is gone. With hands of pure sunlight and fury untold, weaving the power of silver and gold. The solar aura detonates a blinding shockwave blast. The vampire turns ghostly pale as victory is past. One final desperate lunge, but the enchanter only sneers, grabbing bloody hell's cold throat, drowning out his fears. Solid beams of heaven drop from the skies above, turning the beast to ash and dust, a display of holy power. The golden enchanter, the shield of the dawn, striking the darkness until it is gone. With hands of pure sunlight and fury untold, weaving the power of silver and gold. Crashed on Victory Road, your arrogance is dead. A lesson in pure power, the blood is what you dread. You thought you were a god, but now you have to learn. When the golden sorcerer strikes, the night begins to burn. Grace and holy conviction, the servant of the light, protecting every slayer from the horrors of the night. A shining beacon of hope, where the broken forces stand, and the symbol of total doom across the vampire land. Wishaway commands the dawn. The sky bleeds out a bruise of purple and gray as the sun surrenders, giving up the day. He walks the timbered aisles, a solitary spark, a heartbeat of silver in the lungs of the dark. We gather in the canopy, 1,000 hungry eyes, waiting for the moment that the human spirit dies. We lunge like a shadow, a tidal wave of teeth, but hit a wall of lightning rising from beneath. The golden dome erupts, a halo turned to cage. He smiles as the forest burns. with holy silent rage. A golden warrior, walking in the night, a breathing fortress made of blinding light. We break against his aura, we shatter on the shield. To this incandescent hunger, every brother has to yield. Just ash upon the hemlock, just dust upon the floor. He is the sun incarnate, and we are nothing more. The weight of the heavens is wrapped around my fist, a pillar of conviction in this graveyard of mist. Every breath I draw is a psalm of ancient fire, turning every monster to a spark upon the pyre. The aura isn't armor, it's a living, breathing grace, reflected in the terror on every vampire's face. I don't need a lantern to find the narrow way. The darkness is a canvas for the coming of the day. A golden warrior, walking in the night, a breathing fortress made of blinding light. We break against his aura, we shatter on the shield. To this incandescent hunger, every brother has to yield. Just ash upon the hemlock, just dust upon the floor. He is the sun incarnate, and we are nothing more. Gates are almost visible, the camp is drawing near, but the air begins to thicken with the concentrated fear. A master of the ancient vein steps out from the pines, a king of all the hollow souls crossing holy lines. He strikes with the velocity of a falling mountain star, trying to find a weakness, trying to leave a scar. But my shield is a mountain, my spirit is the stone. I face the Lord of Shadows, and I face him all alone. A golden warrior, walking in the night, a breathing fortress made of blinding light. We break against his aura, we shatter on the shield. To this incandescent hunger, every brother has to yield. Just ash upon the hemlock, just dust upon the floor. He is the sun incarnate, and we are nothing. I'll crack this gilded egg, I'll drain the yoke of God. I'll drag his holy carcass through the mire and the sod. My breath is the plague, a green and stinging haze, to suffocate the sunlight and drown the golden blaze. I vomit out the acid, I drown the forest lore, until the trees are skeletons and the earth can take no more. I see a shield flickering, I see the metal frame. Now die within the poison, let a lamb of death. A golden warrior, walking in the night, a breathing fortress made of blinding light. We break against his aura, we shatter on the shield. To this incandescent hunger, every brother has to yield. Just ash upon the hemlock, just dust upon the floor. He is the sun incarnate, and we are nothing trying to find a seam, but I walk above the venom in a waking golden dream. I forge a bridge of mercury, a path of solid light, over the sea of poison through the middle of the night. I reach into the center of the master's rotting heart and watch the dark architecture fall completely apart. I grip his throat of shadows, I release the inner sun. One flash of blinding glory, and the heresy is done. Open wide for the king. Hear the iron hinges and the heavy armor ring. Wishaway steps through the threshold, back from the abyss, to give the broken soldiers a golden holy blessings. The light begins to set name is Wishaway, the golden sorcerer of might, dressed in brilliant white and gold to shatter down the night. He raises up his hands to invoke the sacred names, bless and striking holy armor, casting out the flames. The grail, the thorns, the lightness, gifts of God from up above, shielding him in majesty, in power and in love. 1810 intelligence, the wisdom of the wise. 2100 defense beneath the heavy skies. With 2000 protection, he stands against the horde, the living, breathing grace of God, the servant of the Lord. An Anubis headpiece crowns his brow, an Egyptian god reborn, with golden robes and flowing white against the world forlorn. His armor is a holy blanket wrapped around his skin, infused with blazing solar power to burn away the sin. His heavy wrists are bound in chains of conviction and of desire, a righteous flame within his soul, a deep celestial fire. The grace is like a necklace worn around his sacred neck, a golden cross that holds the dark and all its beasts in check. 1810 intelligence, the wisdom of the wise. 2100 defense beneath the heavy skies. With 2000 protection, he stands against the horde, the living, breathing grace of God, the servant of the Lord. Every single step he takes is like a whispered prayer, blessing all the righteous souls who gather in the air. But out from dark Eden's deep abyss, an ancient evil wakes, a vampire lord dripping in sin. The frozen earth it shakes. He hungers for the enchanter's flesh, the ultimate holy prize, a sick and twisted lust for blood reflecting in his eyes. He dreams to drink the sacred life, to drain the holy veins, to break the sorcerer of life.
drawing nigh with one final celestial blast. The darkness is undone, the golden sorcerer prevails. Beneath the rising sun, the ancient evil turns to ash, defeated by the light, as Wishaway stands victorious against the endless night. A living testament of faith, the guardian of the land, with power, grace, and majesty held firmly in his hand. 1810 intelligence, the wisdom of the wise. 2100 defense beneath the heavy skies. With 2000 protection, he stands against the horde, the living, breathing grace of God, the servant of the
is rumbling, a tectonic roar, as the gunners titans march into war. Steel behemoths spitting iron and lead, leveling the rot where the monsters once fed. Locked in the iron sights, the target is clear. The end of the darkness is drawing so near. With a thunder of pistons and a hail of white light, the army of metal awakens the night. We are the hurricane, we are the bolts, leading the souls in a massive revolt. The blade of the sword of the gun of the grace, erasing the filth of the vampire race. The storm front is screaming, the clouds turn to lead, as the sword descends to awaken the dead. A bolt from the cosmos, a strike from the void, ensuring the legions of hell are destroyed. While the blader is fire, a kinetic machine, slicing the air where the shadows have been. One is the vortex and one is the spark, tearing the throat of the eternal dark. We are the hurricane, we are the bolts, leading the souls in a massive revolt. The blade of the sword of the gun of the grace, erasing the filth of the vampire race. The enchanter steps forth, a blessing in hand, to mend every fracture and heal all the land. When the children of Lilith lash out with their hate, a shield of pure gold decides their own fate. He smiles at the demons as their claws start to break, reclaiming the earth for the living's own sake. A soldier of light with a spirit of glass, watching the shadows spawn, wither and pass. We are the hurricane, we are the bolts, leading the souls in a massive revolt. The blade of the sword of the gun of the grace, erasing the filth of the vampire race. Now comes the healer, the chosen of God, to mend every inch where the monsters have trod. Where the iron has fallen and the lightning has burned, the peace of the garden is finally returned. A synergy forged in the fire above, the vengeance of God and the mercy of love. They are the anchor, the heart and the hand, restoring the life to a desolate land. We are the hurricane, we are the bolts, leading the souls in a massive revolt. The blade of the sword of the gun of the grace, erasing the filth of the vampire race. a graveyard of fangs and of pride. Nowhere for the monsters of Lilith to hide. The tanks are still hard and the blades are still red, surrounded by piles of the twice fallen dead. The five stand together as the dawn starts to break. The nightmare is over, the souls are awake. The hand of the heavens, an unbreakable team, fulfilling the hope of a sanctified dream.